Welcome, everyone, to Countdown to Infinity and Avengers podcast. This is a mini season. We have a couple episodes talking about Phase 4 that was just announced at the San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to go movie by movie, announcement by announcement. And I don't know why I said movie, because there are also Disney Plus shows in the mix. So this is a really long conversation that we had that we're splitting up into 4 episodes. This first episode is about Black Widow and Falcon and Winter Soldier, or New Captain and Winter Soldier. So we're going to go and talk about all this different stuff. If you don't want to wait every week for the next 3 or 4 weeks to listen to these episodes, you can go to patreon.com/delphinpod, DELFINPOD. And guess what? The full 2 hours is already up on patreon.com for our subscribers there. If you just have to donate $1, literally $1, and you can hear all of these episodes back to back to back. But yeah, subscribe to the pod, review it. We're so excited. We're going to have a lot more things to talk about now that they've announced all of these different movies. And the last thing I want to say is I am going to be going on a small tour in the next couple of weeks. So follow at DelphinPod on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. And if you can meet up, we'll be able to give you something for free. Welcome to Countdown to Infinity and Avengers podcast. And now, I don't know if you guys know this, we are officially the number 2 Avengers podcast in the whole
MCU.
In the whole world. In
the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We basically have our very own multiverse going on right here. It's crazy because we haven't released new episodes consistently in a long time. But
you're like
here we
questioning
are.
it. You're like, I don't know why.
Here we are. We got number 2. How exciting.
That is pretty cool. That's
number
awesome.
Deuce.
We are recording
like that fat thing I laid in the restroom.
God
number
damn.
2.
Number 2. Like, what's number 3? So this is something I want to ask you guys.
Austin
Okay.
Powers.
What?
Number 2.
So number 1 is pee-pee. Number 2 is poo-poo. What's number 3?
Diarrhea.
Isn't that poo-poo?
I thought
No, number 3 is like an extreme form.
that's probably
Because
like
it's kind of like a pee coming out the butt.
number 3 has
So
to be
it's
like
kinda
a
like a boat.
combustion. I guess like you're just like
Blowing
Like
up?
fire?
yeah, you're just like you just spontaneously combust.
What about throwing up? Is that a number? I could Google this, I guess. Hold on.
I think that would probably be a lot more help than we are.
Yeah. And I'd say that was around
I've never used number 3. I've never said I got to go take a number 3 or
Yeah.
do number
Hopefully
3.
not, because like I feel like number 3 means you really have some sort of condition. I guess like
passing a kidney stone.
Here we go. I've opened up the Urban Dictionary.
oh damn.
Here's number 3.
The most urban of dictionaries.
Well, this doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
It says, what? Number 3 is described as the ultimate intense, severe fecal explosion,
Diarrhea, yeah, that's what I said.
the highest level of bowel movements, a situation much more intense and severe than explosive diarrhea.
Whoa.
Some cases of number 3 can become fatal.
That's when you shit out the front.
What is happening?
Yeah. What is happening?
That's when you poop out the front.
This is an awesome intro to
I
Countdown.
know. We're 1 minute in. What's talking about phase number 3? You know
Phase 4.
Phase 4. 4 is a number as well. So Countdown to Infinity is an Avengers podcast. We initially started 2 years ago, and we watched every single MCU movie, starting with Iron Man, and we just did the Spider-Man Far From Home episode. I don't know if they want us to say this, but we are recording in the Geekdom Audio Lab. So we apologize for all
the fecal matter.
The fecal matter talk that we just did.
We didn't do any fecal in here, though. So
No,
that's cool.
we just talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're on camera.
But my name's Emmanuel.
Hey, I'm John.
You stole my thunder.
My bad.
I'm number 2. I was kidding.
Now you're number 3.
Yeah.
Oh, another correlation to number 3. There are 3 people in this recording studio. So yeah, there you go.
Hey, it's almost like the stage is up. Never mind.
Yeah.
Let's drop this joke.
Well, the number after 3 is 4, and we are recording a new episode of Countdown to Infinity to talk about Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, announced just a couple weeks ago at the San Diego Comic-Con. Have you guys ever been to Comic-Con?
We've been to the one. I mean, I've been to the one here in town, which is like I've been to a Comic-Con. I don't know about San Diego.
The Hall H. Andrew, you got anything lined up to go to Hall H anytime soon?
No, I don't think so. It's just too many. Like, you could probably do one thing.
That's
like,
true.
you want to attend one panel throughout the weekend, then you better get in line as soon as you get there, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Everything, like, you got to go take a shit for a number 2, then you got to stand in line for, a number 2 hour, wait.
We got We got poo poo and pee pee on the brain, and around the corner fudge is made. All right.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so we're gonna go through all of the announcements in Phase 4. Talk about what we're excited for, what we're most excited for. A lot of these are new characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and a lot of them are surprising sequels to some things that we didn't even think was gonna happen. But so let's start. First off, how have you guys been?
Yep.
Just in general.
I feel like we're a little. I mean. Not that we should apologize, but we are a little late on the ball to these announcements. These announcements did happen like 2 weeks ago.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Depends on when you listen to this podcast.
Yeah, but we also have more information now in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, definitely. We've also been really busy. I think the day these announcements came out, the weekend we were shooting a movie. Like you and I were, Delphin.
We were,
yeah, Black Panther 3.
Close. We made a werewolf movie. Short film that people will see.
Yeah.
Oh, panthers and wolves, I get you. They're animals. Nice.
2 animals. Boom, number 2.
Yeah. So like, during that weekend, and then the weekends that followed, it's been kind of a busy 2 weeks here. So yeah,
it's hard to get everyone together. Andrew's always super busy.
It's the worst.
I'm now out of town. I think so.
How are you?
Oh,
you're literally.
Let me tell you, girl.
All right, cool.
So this is actually interesting. I'd like to say this on the pod because if any of you guys are in these places, I'm going to reach out to me and
or not
give you a sticker.
Reach out and touch me.
So most of July I spent in Little Rock, Arkansas. The last 3 weeks I've been in Austin, which isn't bad because it's close enough to here. Tomorrow morning I'm driving back to Austin.
Aren't you like exhausted though? It's like a 2-hour drive.
The drive sucks, and I've driven it a lot recently.
Yeah,
but next
should change oil.
Starting this Thursday, I'll be in Down Under, and we do have we have about
come from a land down under.
Australia is one of our top 10 countries actually, so I wouldn't be surprised if we have listeners in the places I'm going. Okay. But I'm going to be in Sydney, Brisbane, in the next 2 weeks when this comes out. So hit me up if you're there.
Yeah, hit Delphin up, guys.
Just the Countdown to Infinity tour
baby.
Around the world.
Right after that, I'm going to be in New York City and then Philadelphia, like towards the end of August. But yeah, any listeners? I don't know how.
So you're gonna be jet lagged like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's gonna have his location services on his phone. So if you on Facebook,
how are they gonna reach you?
He's gonna tag a couple of places.
Here's what I'll do. Find my iPhone is really easy. So I'm gonna give you guys my iCloud password. Okay, ready? Here it is. I love Andrew.
Oh damn!
So, yeah, that's my iCloud. No, but so there. Yeah, so if we don't have another episode recorded in another month or so,
that's probably why.
You know why?
Probably why. I will say though that I was thinking about if this episode comes out too long, I may split it up into a couple eps, and then we may just have other things come out.
We can do some Skyping episodes for RTS or something like that too.
Yeah.
Like
you guys have you have unlimited minutes or what?
Premium Snapchat.
Yeah. Andrew, how much is it to see you fit something in there?
And where?
Just anywhere. It's a premium Snapchat, man.
And my premium Snapchat?
Yeah.
Probably like $1.
$1.
Yeah.
Nice.
So standards are pretty low there, guys.
So we're going to go down the list of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 10 MCU-related announcements that they've made. I'm going to go in order of release date. Fuck, I just burped.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you think that was bad. You're not even here to smell it.
Sorry, I burped out my butt, which is a number 4.
The Whopper Junior. Just kidding.
New Impossible Whopper. Not meat, it's farts. So I'm going to go in order of their release dates. Again, Endgame just came out, I think, on a digital release. Captain Marvel came out this year.
It sounded like you almost said Crapton Marvel.
Crapton Marvel. Crapton Poopy, number 2. No, it's not a bad movie. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Cool.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's just we're making jokes about poop right now. Captain Marvel came out, and so did Spider-Man: Far From Home. So 3 movies hit $1 billion this year. So I know it feels like we're talking about the future, but a lot of MCU movies came out this year. If not the biggest movie of all time, also came out this year. So it's not that long of a wait for these next couple that we're talking about. But did you get Endgame yet on Blu-ray or whatever the fuck?
It's not on Blu-ray. It's a digital release.
Is there going to be like some like metal case with?
Yes, it's $35.
That's cheap.
Exclusively at Best Buy.
I mean, there's always like a steelbook for like every.
Oh, but you're saying
release
that's just for Endgame.
Right.
Oh, I thought you meant. I was thinking of like a collection.
Oh, a giant. I'm sure that's gonna come eventually.
Infinity Saga.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be like a fucking $400 box set eventually.
I think that's pretty sick. Like it's a complete. It's like buying the whole series of like Breaking Bad. It's like a.
That'd be really.
It should come with all the Infinity Stones.
I feel like we've already we own most of those movies, so like I don't really want to rebuy
We only
them.
own don't own 2.
It's weird. I have like a weird mix of physical copies.
And
digital, and I wish I had just gotten the physical because you get the digital with them now.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if when Iron Man came out that would have happened, but
where would you watch your physical copies on? I guess it's like the Blu-ray player, right? I guess
kind of, but sometimes I just buy it just to have it, and then I get the digital
you
copy.
Just use the code,
yeah. Like there's a lot of exclusive stuff to Blu-rays now and to the physical copy.
Yeah, definitely
releases, which is pretty sick. But I think, as we've said in a lot of our episodes before, the MCU doesn't really have the a satisfactory amount of behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's only because it's Disney. Disney, I think, feels like they like to.
They have to release a 10th anniversary edition where it's never before seen footage.
The thing is,
forces you to rebuy the movie.
Yeah.
They're not really into like the movie making process, like the way when Paramount had these movies under their wing, their Blu-ray releases were chocked full of an hour or 2 hours of special features, and now Disney kind of likes to hide the
secret.
BTS. Yeah, basically about it.
It's kind of weird. I hope that one day someone like this may not happen, but like a filmmaker like Robert Rodriguez gets to make an MCU movie, so we can get like a 15-minute film school thing of whatever he's doing, or the commentary that's going to be sick. I mean, I like it. Even like George Lucas had an insane amount of behind the scenes, and Star Wars is like a super secretive thing. Anyways, we'll see all that soon. So, okay, let's get started with Phase 4 announcements. We're going to start with May 1st. So, this is like a hard set date, a hard set release date, May 1st,
The Black
2020.
Widow, right?
Mm-hmm.
See the first one?
Black Widow. Let's talk about the character before we talk about the people who are involved in this movie. But
Natasha Romanoff, dead.
Yeah, isn't that what? Because
so it takes place between what is it? The last is
before
Infinity War.
Yeah,
before
so like Civil War and Infinity
War. There you go.
And they do she's always referencing other missions she's been on.
Budapest.
So there's a lot of stuff that you can mine there. But I think one of my biggest things was like, well, we know how it overall ends. I mean, prequels are fun, but they haven't said it's a hard set prequel only thing. But do you think that if they brought Black Widow back from the dead, it would kind of not ruin, but it would kind of lessen the impact of
Endgame,
Endgame a little bit, or would you
they're just building it up to, because I mean, like, there's not just one Black Widow spider in the world. There's gonna be a ton of Black Widows.
Yeah.
So I think there's gonna be
seeds on this one, like for the future, or like
maybe
the villain or something, like something.
The Taskmaster's probably gonna be hunting down all the Black Widows, and only 2 are left, and one was killed in Endgame, so the last one that's left is the real Black Widow. And now she can carry on as being a different actress, or Emma Watson, or whoever the fuck it's gonna be.
The next Black Widow.
Yeah.
Is it like a 007 sitch where it's just a code name for whoever?
I mean, it's like an organization of like assassins and stuff. I mean, I think they're not going to. I think they have some surprises in store for it being a standalone prequel like this. Like, and obviously, like you can't. I don't know how you can do it.
I think she's almost done with these movies for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think she just wanted like one last hurrah probably with this like single movie to like kind of like do like a definitive Black Widow take, and I think it's going to be it. Like I don't think they're going to revive the character. I do think that storylines here are going to bleed over into future movies, and I think but not necessarily like with Natasha herself. You get what I mean? Like it'll probably be like with something like maybe related to a villain or something like that.
They've kept, even though I think they've already finished shooting this entire movie.
Right.
The Marvel Studios they didn't officially announce anything until Comic-Con, even though we know who's in the cast and we know who's directing it. Kate Shortland is directing it. Scarlett Johansson is back as Black Widow. David Harbour plays Alexei Shostakov, the Red Guardian.
Yeah,
the Red Guardian.
Florence Pugh, who was just in Midsommar, is playing Yelena Belova.
Yeah.
She's the new Black Widow.
Another Black Widow.
O.T. Fagbenny. Rachel Weisz is also in this movie. So
as a former Black Widow.
And Ray Winstone, who will play the Taskmaster. So we know a lot about this movie already, but that's my biggest thing is like whether or not this is a...
Ray Winstone would not be the Taskmaster. But like the Taskmaster will be in the movie. Ray Winstone, you know who Ray Winstone is?
No.
It's like that. He's a very old actor from... he was Beowulf. There you go. In... Zemeckis is Beowulf. He's not gonna be the Taskmaster.
Okay.
Maybe the voice. But
Maybe.
Probably. But
We don't
you know
know.
what I'm talking about? Like the guy from Indiana Jones 4, like in the Kid in the Crystal Skull, that other guy.
I'm just reading what I see in front of me, and it says he's voicing the Taskmaster.
I was just wondering.
So who knows? Who's the Taskmaster?
He's a villain that studies his. Remember, I texted you this the last time. I explained it to you.
So yeah, he's kind of like an anti. He's both a supervillain and like an anti-hero, but he's basically someone who's kind of like he's like a mercenary, kind of like a Deathstroke type of person.
And he's got like photographic memory, and it lets him memorize the fight patterns of the person that.
Oh, I remember when you texted me. Yeah, he basically is like
he's like a copycat,
like a Skrull.
Kind of, yeah.
More Skrulls, baby.
He's a very like popular Avengers villain, so like it's really
popular.
cool that they're putting him in Black Widow as the main villain.
And he was in the Spider-Man game, and then he's gonna be the villain of like the Avengers game that they showed at E3. So they're really giving him a push, which is cool because he's a fan favorite villain.
Yeah.
You know, I'm excited about the Black Widow movie. I think I'll be more excited as it gets closer and closer because I kind of want to be in the world of a Winter Soldier a little more.
Yeah, it's gonna be like John Wick or like Born Supremacy. Or
that's gonna be
Born
sick.
Ultimatum.
Yeah, because it's dealing with like really espionage and like some really cool spy stuff, which is like when Black Widow was like
It's about to be a female James Bond up in this.
Black Widow is kind of
seducing.
Like based off of old spy stories like that, and it's gonna be pretty exciting. I mean, you'll still have some superhero-esque stuff. Like I think
she puts on a cape.
Taskmaster, is like his fighting style is almost to the point where it's super. And the same thing goes for I guess Red Guardian. Red Guardian is actually like a Russian version of Captain America.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be pretty cool.
When we went through Black Widow in our character-based season, it was interesting to see how she basically keeps the Avengers together a lot, but also is one of the, I would say, smarter, more strategic Avengers of all of them. So I'm really excited for whatever the script or story is, because I bet there's going to be some insane ways that she has to outsmart, especially when you're talking about the dude who can copy what you can do.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be insane.
It's really cool to bring her to the forefront because it's just like, you've seen her be kind of
almost like the leader of the half of the Avengers.
Yeah.
But the ones that were broken.
But you only saw it like on a giant scale like that, like the Hulk chases her, or like, or she has to outsmart Ultron or something. Like it's never been, and I think Age of Ultron's kind of weird because she's almost like a damsel in distress in that one. But now you're going to see it like in her own element where like, she doesn't have the help of like the Avengers and stuff, so it's gonna be really cool to see her actually be challenged like to her core.
She was able. She tricked Loki. She should be able to trick literally almost everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
The last thing I'll say about this Black Widow movie is I'm even more excited for the press tour that Scarlett Johansson has to be on, because the last couple things she said to the press have been really fun to dive into.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking
about.
Fire. She's a fire person, and she was just engaged to Colin Jost of the SNL Weekend Update.
She's also playing every tree in this movie.
Oh boy. My sister in New York had lunch next to Scarlett and Colin. I don't know if I should say that, but yeah.
Cool.
The next in fall 2020, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier will premiere on Disney Plus.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
What we know now is they're filming. Do you guys want to know what the code name for the shoot is?
It's called Not My Cap. # Not My Cap.
Oh my gosh! No, it's called Tag Team, but yours is more hardcore.
Well, because that's what the storyline's based off of.
Is it really?
It's like America pushing back, and they don't want like him as Captain America because
Well. What a very current,
exactly.
Is that really? That's what the storyline's.
Yeah, that's what the comic is based off too. Yeah, like no one wants him around. Like we don't want if we barely wanted the old Captain America.
Yeah,
and so we don't want you.
I don't know if they'd tackle that storyline. I guess like that.
They might.
No, they said they are gonna.
So one of the things that they've announced is it's a 6-episode. It's a miniseries, which is, I think that's neat. Like it's a much longer way to tell a story like that. But also, I mean, they could explore some themes on race and America and justice.
That's what happens in the book. Again, like he ends up realizing that like Captain America is needed by more than just Americans. So he's like, it's almost like he's not Captain America. He's like Captain Planet almost. Like, like
Captain Planet's an actual.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. But that's what he kind of goes about the way, Sam Wilson being in his Captain America arc. He's, ultimately decides to not just be confined to the USA.
That's really interesting. I don't know. A lot of this is under wraps, but they're going to start filming in October of this year, so that can be out in fall of next year, I guess. But it is kind of it's going to be interesting because now this is the first series for Marvel on Disney Plus, and I think it's still kind of in the world of the Black Widow movie. Like, it's still Earth set, like, so it's going to be really.
Yeah, it's got Baron Zemo returning from Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Bruhl as the real villain now, so you get to see him put on the mask, and hopefully he's maybe leading Hydra like the way he does in the book or something.
Hail Hydra. So yeah, it's gonna be really, really exciting, and of course, all those actors are fantastic, and yeah, it's gonna be sick. And I don't think it's much of a risk for. What do you guys think about Disney Plus being kind of a space for these Marvel characters to be like in and own?
It's kind of a little early to say. Like, we don't really know. I'm sure a lot of people will gravitate towards that. Like, I think they're gonna get subscription numbers like crazy.
I just want it for The Simpsons.
I don't know. It's way too early to tell if these shows are going to work out. I guess they will because they're official on the Marvel ballot now. Like, they were announced as the shows are all a part of Phase 4. Like, Phase 4 only has like a couple of movies, really.
Yeah.
But most of the other ones are shows, and I think that'll get them more hyped because this kind of happened to the same thing. The same thing kind of happened years ago with Daredevil and Netflix stuff. Like, where Marvel was promoting that these were like MCU-based shows.
Didn't we talk about that being kind of the way that they were testing it? And once they saw Daredevil doing well, Marvel was like, cool. Like, we know people would watch a streaming service. I think even, this may be cynical, but in the mindset of like just even the production, like Daredevil didn't have the same budget as a movie did, but they were able to still deliver with great acting and great writing.
Right.
So I think they looked at that and be like, well, we don't have to spend
like movie budget,
hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, we can tell these fantastic stories while spending like TV budget amounts, which is really insane to think about because this has to hold up to the level of Marvel cinematic universe.
And to me, this is definitely a really, really big test for the MCU because not only are familiar characters that everyone knows and that's been the driving force for the MCU, not only are they gone, but also you have to subscribe to another service to get the full picture. So I wonder, some of these shows are going to end up leading into some of the movies. So I want to know how that's going to affect certain people's view of the MCU. And again, like, it's either they built up enough loyalty in the last 10 years to keep you hooked, or some people are going to fall off because Cap's not there, or the real Iron Man's not there, or Black Widow's not there.
You bring up a good point. Is that right now what helps the Marvel Cinematic Universe is most of the people have seen every single movie because you just have to see the one.
Correct.
And like now it's like a commitment.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly. Now go get this service that you have to pay monthly for, and then keep up with this show that's being released, per week or whatever.
And I'm sure at some point it is like not just 2 or 3 of these. It's like a lot.
Exactly. Well, and so that's what it's really the true test because now you have things that again, characters that you don't know. Is it going to be enough? I mean, we've been with it for 10 years, so we were almost kids when they came out. So how are you going to keep the adults engaged now?
Keep the daddies happy.
Yeah, you apply to kids with your PG-13 movies and below for sure.
Yeah.
But how are you going to keep us interested? From the people who grew to love these other characters that are gone now.
Until we're old, we'll be like 100 years old.
Yeah. Well, and I want to see if like people are going to be like, oh, not for me. The Infinity Saga was awesome, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be
this
enough?
new thing of like, there's also shows, and there's also these smaller heroes. I just hope that the Winter Soldier actually has some kind of arc in this that doesn't require him becoming a bad guy again. Like, supposedly he's healed, right? Like, everything's fine because he was in Wakanda. But hopefully there aren't any more code words that someone brings up at some point. Exactly. Not because that would be fun, but I just
rail car.
Just be a good guy for like, please.
Yeah, for a full movie.
For a full thing.
Yeah, it didn't even count. Endgame or Infinity War didn't count. You were only in it for 5 minutes.
Like, poor guy. All right, so that was part 1 of our mini season going over Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I just want to remind you, if you want to hear all of it, go to patreon.com/DelphinPod and keep reviewing and subscribing to this because we're going to have new shows coming out very, very soon, and definitely one next Thursday. And I also want to let you all know, if you want to meet up with me while I'm on my crazy tour then these are the dates I'll be in these places. And I'd say message at DelphinPod on Instagram or on Twitter if you want more specifics. But on the 10th, August 10th, I'll be in Santa Monica and Los Angeles, California. Let's see. Oh, no, sorry. That's on the 8th. On the 8th. On the 10th and through the 12th, I'll be in the Gold Coast. The Sunshine Coast in Australia. The 12th to the 14th, I'll be in Brisbane. And then the 15th, I'll be in Sydney. And then on the 23rd, I'll be in New York City. And on the 24th, I'll be in Philadelphia. So if any of you listeners hear those dates and aren't confused and want to get a free sticker or take a photo or talk or just grab a cup of coffee or something like that, let me know via @DelphinPod. We'll see you on Thursday next week.